Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everybody. Hare Krishna. So let us start with prayers. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Deshitarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jai Shri Krishna Balaram ki Jai, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai, Nitai Gaurang ki Jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki Jai. So, in this video which we saw, we could understand that how Lord reciprocates according to the devotee's desire. Devotee desires in whatever way, Lord reciprocates in that way. So therefore, he takes so many forms like Lord Rama, Jagannath, Krishna, Vishnu. But the form of Krishna is the absolute form, which is the embodiment of all the forms. In the form of Krishna, all the personalities like Rama, Vishnu, Narasimha, all the incarnations are included. Because Lord Rama exhibits all the potencies. He manifests all the qualities and potencies in his personality. That therefore the personality of Krishna is complete. He exhibits all kinds of mellows. 5 kinds of mellows are there: Vatsalya, Madhurya, Sakya, Dasya, and Shanta. So these are 5 mellows. And these mellows, when they are intermixed together, then these mellows create variegatedness, and that's how our life becomes full of bliss or full of mellows, rasa. Otherwise, if there are no such kind of exchanges or transactions, our life is dry life. Suppose there is one person who is leading a life where there is no exchange of any of the 5 mellows. Neither sakya, there are no friends, there are no servants to him. He's not having father, mother also. No, not married also. No wife, nothing. He's all alone. Nobody's there. How horrible his life would be. So this is called neerus life, no ras. So therefore, these rasas, mellows, when they come in our life, in our exchanges, then we feel good, then we feel joy, we feel happiness. So our life becomes blissful and full of ras mellows when these 5 mellows are there in our life. So that then our life becomes complete. Any of these 5 mellows, if we not there, then we start feeling dissatisfied or discontentment. That's why you are always searching for either of the 5 rasas: Santa rasa, Dasya rasa, Sakya, Madhurya, and Vatsalya rasa. So a person wants to experience all these 5 kinds of mellows, but that we cannot experience here in this material world. And even if you experience that, mellows experience will be limited and it will be controlled by time. It will be finished. But when we establish our relationship with Krishna, so because Krishna is the embodiment of all the mellows, so we get these mellows in completeness. Then we can be satisfied. So this was about the video. Let us discuss our Bhagavad Gita discourse. So till now we have discussed about, yesterday very nicely we discussed that how to perform the activity in yoga without attachment, and even if there is success or failure, we should be equipoised. We should have evenness of mind. Then we can be happy, and that is called yoga. Otherwise, we can never ever be happy, because siddhi asiddhi means success and failure are the part of life, and if we are attached, then we'll be disturbed. So we should not be attached. Just get situated in the yoga and perform your duty very nicely without being attached to the success or failure. And this is called equanimity of yoga or evenness of the mind. So, okay, so in continuation, and Prabhupada wrote in the purport that unless we are in Krishna consciousness, we can not have, you know, this quality of detachment. डिटैचमेंट लाना लाइफ में बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. बहुत सारी चीजों से हमें डिटैच होना पड़ेगा. नहीं होंगे तो टाइम डिटैच कर देगा. तो वॉलेंटरली डिटैच हो जाए, दैट इज वेरी नाइस, दैट इज वेरी गुड. Practice some transcendental knowledge, read Bhagavad Gita, chant Hare Krishna, you will get detachment. The quality of detachment, if not there, then you are bound to get suffer. Suffering will come. So if you voluntarily don't practice detachment, then forcefully you will have to be practiced. You will made to practice detachment, because in this world nobody will be remaining permanently with you. You have to get separated. So if you are attached, then you will be disturbed and you will be shattered and you will suffer like anything. So therefore, this quality of detachment is very, very important. I'm not saying, Prabhupada is not saying that detachment means no responsibility. No, you should be responsible, but you should not be attached. So this is the art of performing action. We should take this very nicely, understand it, and start practicing. And artificially, you cannot practice. Unless we are Krishna consciousness, we cannot practice. So develop your Krishna consciousness content. How to chant Hare Krishna, read more, hear more. So like this, whenever you get free time, read more books. So today I have, you know, two top 5 students, those who had attended our Gems of Wisdom and also Bhagavad Gita series. I have dispatched the gift for them. So probably in 2-3 days you can get your gifts. So some books are also sent to you. So those books you start reading that. It will be very nice. And start developing spiritual content more and more. Now while holidays are also coming, summer vacation will come. So keep on reading more and more and try to finish that book as soon as possible. Bhagavad Gita, and to some I have sent Bhagavad Gita, to some I have sent Science of Self-Realization. That is very, very powerful book. If somebody has read Science of Self-Realization before Bhagavad Gita, then he can have all the understanding. Very powerful book, Science of Self-Realization. All the philosophical understanding gets clear just by reading Science of Self-Realization. So then when we read Bhagavad Gita, it becomes very, very understandable for us. Bhagavad Gita and teachings. So that book in next 2-3 days you will get. So please start reading that and develop your spiritual content. And unless you are spiritually surcharged, you cannot have this quality of detachment. Quality of detachment लाना बहुत ही जरूरी है, और वो चैंटिंग और रीडिंग से ही आएगा. तो एक्सटेनियस इंडेवर करने की जरूरत नहीं है. आप परेशान मत होइए कि कैसे डिटैचमेंट लाएं. नेचुरली आप प्रोसेस को फॉलो करिए, चैंट करिए अच्छे से, एंड बुक रीडिंग अच्छे से करिए, एंड लेक्चर अटेंड करिए एवरीडे विदाउट फेल. ऑटोमेटिकली दिस क्वालिटी ऑफ डिटैचमेंट, अटैचमेंट जाएगा, अटैचमेंट आएगा, है ना. ओके, सो हम लोग ये इतना डिस्कस किए थे. आज का श्लोक भी बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट है. आज के श्लोक में कृष्णा बता रहे हैं, दूरेण ही अवरम कर्म बुद्धि योगा धनंजय बुद्धो शरणो अन्विच्छ कृपणा फल हेतवा. द मीनिंग इज दूरेण ही अवरम कर्म. दूरेण मीन्स दूर रहो. दूरेण ही अवरम कर्म, जो अवरम एबॉमिनेबल एक्टिविटी है ना, उससे दूर रहना है. एबॉमिनेबल एक्टिविटी नहीं करना. एबॉमिनेबल एक्टिविटी क्या होता है? फ्रूटिव एक्टिविटी को एबॉमिनेबल एक्टिविटी कहते हैं. फ्रूटिव एक्टिविटी मीन्स कोई भी एक्टिविटी करो और उसका आपको रिजल्ट चाहिए. You want the result of that activity, that is called abominable activity. तो उससे दूर रहना means this fruity mentality we should not carry. We should give up this fruity mentality. ये enjoying tendency है ना, ये बहुत बड़ा कैंसर हो चुका है अभी. सब लोग कुछ भी करते हैं उसको हम enjoy करना चाहते हैं, जो कि बिल्कुल dangerous है. It is very, very dangerous, because you are there in the enjoying mood. You are committing so many sinful reactions for that, because you want to enjoy. Your mentality is enjoyment mentality. So just to enjoy, you can do anything. For the satisfaction of tongue, we are killing all the animals. Slaughterhouses are, being built, big slaughterhouses, just to satisfy our tongue, just for our enjoyment. All these hostile activity, all these ghastly activities are being done just for one thing, what? To gratify your senses. So therefore, this avaram karma means abominable activity, means fruitive mentality. कुछ भी करो उसको enjoy करना, ये इससे हमें फ्री होना. दिस इज कैंसर which has come in our mind, and 4th डिग्री पे आ चुका है कैंसर, और इसलिए बहुत ही घातक हो चुका है अभी. पहले ये नहीं था. पहले के लोगों को पूरा अंडरस्टैंडिंग था, वो दूर रहते थे. वो बोलते थे कि नहीं, सेल्फ ग्रेटिफिकेशन करना है, लेकिन रेगुलेटेड करना है ऑथराइज्ड वे में करना। जैसे एक तो है सेक्स लाइफ को एंजॉय करना विदाउट एनी following rules, regulation, and ritual or culture. Just like animals, people are enjoying sex life, which is happening today. Another thing is you get married and in a regulated way, authorized way you enjoy. So any happiness, it is there. There is a way how to enjoy in authorized way. How it is authorized in the scriptures. By that you can enjoy. खाना भी मना नहीं है, but authorized way. How to eat? First, prepare, cook, and offer to the Lord. Then you eat. So that's how you take prasadam. Third chapter में आएगा ये. हमें प्रसाद ही लेना चाहिए और कुछ नहीं लेना चाहिए. Otherwise you are eating sin. Why you are eating sin? Because in the process of developing all the producing grain, you have killed so many animals. So the moment you cook for yourself, you are eating all the sins of killing all those animals, and you will be the cause of all those killing, and you will suffer their reactions you will get. So we should only take Krishna prasadam. What happens by offering food to Krishna? It becomes prasadam, and it becomes immune to all the sinful reactions. Because एक grain को उगाने में बहुत सारे process involved हैं. You have to plow the field and you have to do so many things. So many processes are involved. In that process, so many animals are getting killed, and who will suffer those reactions? Who are going to eat that? Even vegetarianism also is sin. Eating vegetarian is also sin. So we should not be non-vegetarian, not be vegetarian. We should be Krishnatarian. We should eat the food offered to Krishna. In that there are no sin, because the moment you offer the food to Krishna, Krishna by glance he removes all these sinful reactions. So खाओ लेकिन authorized way में खाओ खाना, regulated way में खाओ. So this is called दूरे नहीं औरम करना. दूर abominable actions से दूर रहना है. And बुद्धि योगा धनंजय, और बुद्धि योग को फॉलो करना. What is बुद्धि योगा? कृष्णा कॉन्शियसनेस, चैंटिंग करना है, रीडिंग करना है. एंड बुद्धो शरणम अन्विच्छ, और इसका शेल्टर लेना है. बुद्धि योग का शेल्टर लेना है. एंड कृपणा फल है, लेकिन कृपणा लोग हो जाए ना, वो इसका शेल्टर नहीं लेंगे. कृपण मीन्स माइजर. फल है तो फल के लिए काम करते रहेंगे, वो फ्रूटी भी रहेंगे. जो माइजर है ना, कंजूस, कृपणा, वो फल के लिए काम करेंगे. कृपणा को उल्टा होता है ब्राह्मणा. दोज हु आर ब्राह्मणा, दे विल वर्क फॉर his self purification, but those who are kripana, they will work for sense gratification, not self purification. So the translation is, Dhananjay, rid yourself of all fruitive activities by devotional service. Devotional service means by chanting, reading, hearing lectures, eating prasadam, and surrender fully to that consciousness. Those who want to enjoy the fruits of their work are misers. So in the purport, Prabhupada writes very nicely, such devotional service is the right course of action for the living entity. Only misers desire to enjoy the fruit of their own work just to be further entangled in material bondage. So fruitive activity जो करते हैं उनको माइजर बोला गया है, और माइजर जो लोग होते हैं वो अपनी एक्टिविटी में और इंटेंगल होते जाते हैं. एक्शन रिएक्शन के चेन में, नेटवर्क में फंस के यहीं पर मर जाते हैं. एंड दे कीप ऑन सफरिंग इन दिस मटेरियल वर्ल्ड इटर्नली. So therefore, except for work in Krishna consciousness, all activities are abominable because they continually bind the worker to the cycle of birth and death. So therefore, it is very important to perform the activity in Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, any activity which are not performed in Krishna consciousness, they will bind you to this cycle of birth and death continually, and you will go on suffer here unlimitedly. So therefore, ये बोला गया है माइजर नहीं रहना. माइजर किसको बोलते हैं? जिसका पैसा वो खर्च नहीं कर रहा है, उसको ही माइजर बोलते हैं ना. कंजूस, वो मर रहा है लेकिन खर्च नहीं कर रहा है. खाए बिन मर जाएगा लेकिन खर्च नहीं करेगा, वो खाएगा नहीं, पैसे नहीं खर्च करेगा. वैसे हम लोग, हमारे पास ह्यूमन बॉडी मिली है, गिफ्ट में मिला है, इसको यूज करो सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन के लिए, भगवान को धम समझने के लिए, भगवान के धाम जाने के लिए. किसके लिए फैसिलिटेट किया गया? ये सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन के लिए ह्यूमन बॉडी नहीं दिया गया आपको. सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन के लिए तो बहुत सारे जानवर की बॉडी बहुत ही अच्छे बने हुए हैं. आपको क्या करना? सेक्स करना है, मंकी की बॉडी मिल जाएगा. खाना है, कू खाना है, टूअर का बॉडी मिल जाएगा. नॉनवेज खाना है, शेर का बॉडी मिल जाएगा. क्या कौन सा सेंस एंजॉय करना है बताओ आप? सारे बॉडी अवेलेबल है. लेकिन ह्यूमन बॉडी एक स्पेशल बॉडी है, इसमें आपको हायर अंडरस्टैंडिंग डेवलप करके भगवान के धाम जाना है. समझो, इसके लिए बॉडी मिला है. अब इसको आप समझे ही नहीं, और सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन और छोटी छोटी चीजों में रह गए, ट्रिवियल एक्टिविटी में ही रह गए. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड कृपणा माइजर. तो कृपणा नहीं रहना, वही कृष्णा बोल रहे हैं, ब्राह्मणा बनना है. ब्राह्मणा, डोंट रिमेन कृपणा, बिकम ब्राह्मणा. Misers do not know how to utilize the assets of riches which they acquire by good fortune or by hard labor. One should spend all energies working in Krishna consciousness, and that will make one's life successful. Like the miser's unfortunate person do not employ their human energy in the service of God. So this I discussed. Now this verse is very, very famous verse. Here this line is, the tagline, logo of many colleges. IIT Kharagpur का logo यही है. Yoga karmasu kausalam. IIT Jaipur का भी logo यही है. Many colleges they have put this logo, but they don't know what is the real meaning of this line. अगर मैं आप में से किसी से पूछूं कि आप कॉलेज में पढ़ते तो हो, लेकिन आपके कॉलेज का लोगो का अंडरस्टैंडिंग क्या है, तो आप बता पाएंगे कि आदित्य, डू यू नो द मीनिंग ऑफ दिस लाइन? इट इज द लोगो ऑफ योर कॉलेज. कैन यू जस्ट टेल all the IIT Kharagpur students, I Aditya, this Vishwas, Dheeraj, Sucheta, can you all explain what is the meaning of this line? Yoga karmasu kausalam, ये आपके कॉलेज का लोगो भी है. कभी क्वेश्चन पूछा आपने कभी? Anybody would like to explain something? Let me see who knows. Don't know? 2.50 याद कर लीजिए. ये आपके लिए असाइनमेंट है. आप लोग को अच्छे से पढ़ के आना है. कल डिस्कस करेंगे हम. योगा कर्मसु कौशलम का क्या मतलब होता है बताइए भैया. आप उस कॉलेज में पढ़ रहे हैं, आपको पता होना चाहिए. चलो इसका ट्रांसलेशन मैं बता देता हूँ, समझेंगे बाद में. कल आप लोग बता के आना. परफॉर्म आवर नेचुरल ड्यूटी सेल्फलेस. परफॉर्मिंग आवर नेचुरल ड्यूटी सेल्फलेस. थोड़ा सा क्लोज गए, बट नॉट एग्जैक्टली, बट यू हैव एटलीस्ट ट्राई. तो what is the correct understanding? That I will give you the translation tomorrow. Understand it nicely, read about it, and then come, we'll discuss. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions even in this life. Therefore strive for yoga, O Arjuna, which is the art of all work. Strive for yoga, which is the art of all work. A man engaged in devotional service rids himself of both good and bad actions even in this life. इसके पहले वाले श्लोक में कृष्ण ने बोला दूरेण ही अवरम कर्म, अबॉमिनेबल एक्शन से दूर रहना है. एंड इन दिस वर्स कृष्ण इज सेइंग दैट हाउ टू गेट रिड ऑफ बाय एंगेजिंग इन डिवोशनल सर्विस. भगवान की भक्ति करके हम दूरेण ही अवरम कर्म रह सकते हैं, हम फ्रूटिव एक्टिविटी से दूर रह सकते हैं. परपोर्ट प्रभुपाद बहुत अच्छे से लिखते हैं. सिंस टाइम इमेमोरियल ईच लिविंग एंटिटी हैज एक्युमुलेटेड द वेरियस रिएक्शन ऑफ हिज गुड एंड बैड वर्क. As such, he is continuously ignorant of his real constitutional position. One's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, which teaches one to surrender to Lord Shri Krishna in all respects and become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction, birth after birth. Arjuna is therefore advised to act in Krishna consciousness, the purifying process of resultant action. बहुत ही पावरफुल लाइन प्रभुपाद ने इसमें बता दिया. बहुत ही अच्छी अंडरस्टैंडिंग दे दिया प्रभुपाद ने कि one's ignorance can be removed by the instruction of Bhagavad Gita, which teaches, क्या भगवद गीता क्या बताती है? One to surrender unto Lord Shri Krishna in all respects. हर एक एक्टिविटी को भगवान को सरेंडर करना है. And become liberated from the chained victimization of action and reaction. Action and reaction ये एक नेटवर्क है जो कि हम लोग since time immemorial we are caught and we are suffering here. Good action, good reaction, bad action, bad reaction, and good and bad has taken our life, completely taken over our life, and we are sometimes suffering, sometimes enjoying, and this cycle is going on and on. But we can stop this cycle of birth and death, this suffering reaction, just by engaging ourselves in Krishna, by surrendering ourselves to Krishna. And how to surrender ourselves? By chanting Hare Krishna more and more, reading books and hearing about Krishna. Then by this, following this process, you will develop the understanding and desire to surrender more. Okay, so here I'll stop, and if you have any question you can ask. I have not yet discussed this line, this translation, this verse. We have to discuss even better way, more nicely. Tomorrow we'll discuss this. Here I will stop, and one video I want to share with you. You all can watch that video. It is very nice. You know,
What would your life be without the law? If you were an atheist, what purpose would you have? European country.
What am I going to do in the next 16 years? What's the best thing I can do?
This is Muhammad Ali. He talks about death. Ali is the same person who was claiming one time as the greatest, but another time he got a Parkinson disease. He was suffering very acutely, very miserably. He was suffering. He was not able to lift even a glass of water. One time he was claiming himself as the greatest. Another time he's not having, the strength to lift a glass of water also. तो योगा कर्मश कौशलम का यहाँ थोड़ा अंडरस्टैंडिंग मिलेगा. इस वीडियो को आप लोग देख के थोड़ा रिसर्च करिए. कल हम लोग इसके ऊपर डिस्कस करेंगे. इस वीडियो के बाद हम आज की क्लास एंड करेंगे यहीं पर. ये वीडियो देख के आप लोग कंटिन्यू करें.
Get ready to meet God. Owning real estate, going in business, teaching boxers, that won't get me to heaven. God is watching me. God don't praise me because I beat Joe Frazier. God don't care nothing about England or America as far as your wealth is all his. He wants to know, how do we treat each other? How do we help each other? So I'm going to dedicate my life to using my name and popularity, helping charities, helping people, uniting people, bring people bumming each other because of religious beliefs. We need somebody in the world to help us make peace. So when I die, if there's a heaven, I want to see it. Because we live how long? 80 years? The odds are everybody in this room, some of you are going to be dead 20 years from now. Some of you are going to be dead 50 years from now. Some are going to be dead 30, some are going to be dead 60, 70 years from now. We all going to die soon. So this is a test to see where will we spend our life in heaven or hell. This is not the life now. Your real self is inside you. Your body gets old. Some of you go to look at the fridge, you don't have no teeth. Your hair is leaving you. Your bodies get tired. But your soul and your spirit never die. That's going to live forever. So your body is just housing your soul and spirit. So God is testing us on how we treat each other, how we live, to see where our real home be in heaven. So this physical stuff don't last for so long. So my car, this building is going to be here when the man who built it dead. There have been many kings and queens of England. They're all dead. After this one is gone, another one will come. So we don't stay here. We're just trustees. We don't own nothing. Even your children are not yours. If you think I'm lying, your wife is not yours. You don't own your children. You don't own your family. So what am I saying? The most important thing about life is what's going to happen when you die. Are you going to go to heaven or hell? And that's eternity. How long is eternity? So what am I going to do when I'm through fighting? I only have 16 years to be productive, get myself ready to meet God and go to the best place. Don't that make sense? Thank you.
इतना अच्छा टॉक दिया ना इसने मोहम्मद अली ने. इसको आप लोग फिर से देखना, यूट्यूब पे है अवेलेबल. आई विल शेयर ऑन द ग्रुप एंड टुमारो विल डिस्कस दैट योगा कर्म कौशलम वाज वेरी नाइस. थैंक यू वेरी मच. हरे कृष्णा.